Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And I am here with our money mindset coach, Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house, and we are so excited to have her. You know, we all need to we could all take a lesson in better money management.
Mm,
But right now, we're just going to get down to the basics. Coach,
mm.
what you got for us today?
Today we're gonna be at. I'm gonna be answering three questions. We're gonna talk about these three things: what it is, how
Mm-hmm.
it come to be, and who are some of the best money managers that
Oh,
you might even think of or realize that you are. And I want to tell you, you are okay. And so,
mm-hmm.
what is it? It is so simple. How you manage your money. Money management is simple. How you manage your money. Have it
Mm-hmm.
do the things it's supposed to do. What you don't do is let your money manage you. Because if you do, you get into trouble. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
manage your money. I'm going to give you one example here and then we're going to move on to number two. What is it? When you get paid, let's say you were out of a job and you had no money, you were struggling. Let's get there. Or this is your first job you get into, you're tired of your mom bothering you, you're a young woman and you want a job. Or God. And you get this job and you plan to do all sort of things about this money. What you didn't plan for the taxes, the unemployment that's going to come out in our country, federal and provincial tax is going to come out. I'm sure you know that happens most places. You're going to take out, they're going to take out EI.
Mm-hmm.
If they are starting you off, most time they don't wait, they get right in there and they're going to take out some other things.
Mm-hmm.
They offer you benefits, that's going to come out from the money. um, and if not, you're going to get a little bit of vacation pay in the money if you're getting on there part-time. So these are like the
Mm-hmm.
basic things that happen. And so you need to, while you're looking for this job, part of you should be investigating this stuff. I tell people all the time, when you want a job, everybody said takes what you get. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to go on the other way. And here's why. When
Mm-hmm.
you take what you can get, if you're not a person who is understanding who you are yet, and don't get me wrong, you can do that in your teens, 20s. Some people get to the 40s before they understand who they are. And so while you're understanding that and you take whatever you get, you kind of go along following along. And that's why you become one of the complaining pack of people who just whine and complain about your job, your co-workers, your boss, your manager. You're just in this ball of thing. But when you go to work knowing this is what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
the job you want to receive, you will get that job. I promise you, it might feel real, but you'll get that job. Now, I'm not telling you that you can decide on an in the meantime job.
Mm-hmm.
Clear about that. You can get an into in the meantime job. And what that means is I'm going to take what I get because maybe I'm so dire that I have to. And I take this job and I'm only going to be there for 6 months. So the 6 months is your padding to look for the job you want.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about a need. We're talking about a job you want because it's fulfilling a need. So that's the 6 months that you're giving yourself. But I promise you something else. If you had no job, this is the other side of the fence that you think about. If you had no job and you get called to a job and it's going to pay you a bunch of money, back to my front view that I like to talk about, you're going to feel great about it. But if it's not a job for you because you have investigated and look after yourself, you'll notice that you can turn it down. And the second or third job is going to be the job that you should take. Just a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of time. And usually it happens quickly within a week or two. If you give yourself the time, you pray about
Mm-hmm.
it, you spend some quiet sit down time, just wondering and dreaming and placing yourself and being happy and quit complaining about what's happening presently. Because all the things that you're feeling presently, if you were to just dissect them, you'll see they're not as precious as you're putting the pressure on you.
Okay.
You will see yourself differently. Why am I telling you this when we're talking about money management? Because
Mm-hmm.
you will manage better when you take that pressure off of yourself.
Oh, okay.
So,
I like it.
right? Take the pressure
Mm-hmm.
off yourself. So, case in point, well, Karen, I have no food. Well, if you're in North America, there's food banks. And if you're in the West Indies, I'm going to go there. Most time people help people. If you don't have food, they'll feed you. In South America, they'll feed you. We might have less than North America, but we'll feed you.
Yeah, we used to be like that, taking food down the street to our neighbors,
Yeah,
but we knew our neighbors then.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. And so that's a different home too, right? Everybody knows everybody. So you can go,
Mhm,
they'll feed you. You don't
mhm.
even have to say anything. You come in early in the morning, somebody's going to ask you, do you had a cup of tea? Did you eat breakfast? Okay, we're eating. Come join us. And, you just fit right in. Here,
Mhm.
you might have to open your mouth a little more, but you're going to be fed, okay?
Yes.
You're going to be fed. You might have a place to stay. You can get a sofa. You may get some stuff, blow up mattress on the floor,
Yes.
but somebody's going to house you. So these things, don't look at it as, oh, poor me. Look at it as, and that's where the complaining, no complaining come in, where you say, I can't believe how grateful it is. I have friends that would give me a blow up mattress, who would feed me, who would see my hair looking messed up and say, come, let me braid your hair. Let me
Mhm.
wash your hair for you. Hair, my aunt was a queen for that. You passing, you looking too great. She'll say, come take a shower. Come inside. And once you're inside, she'll say, you need a bath? Do you have a change of clothes? And she'll just get one of her kids. And she had 7 kids. And she'll say, it looked like you'll fit Barbara dress. Okay, Barbara, bring a dress. And if Barbara is whining, she'll go, Barbara, you got enough dresses. I'll make you a new one. Does it fit you? Okay, here's a dress.
Think about, something? Most of us are so blessed
Mm-hmm.
that we could do a lot more for people,
Yes.
or we really need to be putting those items in places where they can get to the people who need them,
Mm-hmm.
because we're tripping over stuff
Exactly.
and bringing more stuff in.
Yes, 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 and yes. And I always admire her and talk about my Auntie Clarice all the time. One of the things I had admired about, she was always in business, but she would do these, wonderful acts of kindness.
Mhm,
And once they're not judging nobody, she's not asking them why this has happened to you. She wouldn't ask them anything. She'll just fulfill the need, and they themselves will volunteer information to you.
mhm.
Or they say, I've been looking for a job, but I can't find a job. She says, you want a job? I am telling you, give that woman 2 to 3 days, and you get a job. She'll find you something to do. Sometimes it's not a paid something, but she'll find you something to do, because she'll
Mhm.
always say to them, if you're working, you're going to feel so good that you're going to get what you really want.
Yes, because then your attitude improves. Your
Mhm.
confidence goes up, right?
Yes, and she's not a big money person, but she'll say, "So what are you going to do with the money?" Because I used to like the other foot or knees wherever I could fit myself
Mhm,
with
mhm.
her. So what are you going to do with it? Do you want me to keep it for you? Do you want me to help you do something with it? And some say no, some say yes, some come back and say, "I said no, but here you go."
I think that now we are always asking people, "What is your why?" When really the question is, what are your plans?
Mhm. Mhm.
Which is what your aunt was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you planning to do with this?
Yeah. And she's saying, how can I help you? But she's not forcing herself on you. She's allowing you the space. And
Mhm.
more time than not, they always come back because they see it's from a genuine place. I can't tell you how much parcels of people money she used to have tie in this little sock and scribble a name on it.
And we used to use envelopes.
Right. But she used to have these little sack because she used to buy, I said she has 7 kids, buy potatoes and onions in these like it's kind of a cotton bag that they used to come in those days.
Talking about the potatoes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so she would, I guess, she used to sew. So I guess she used to keep them and wash them. So she used to do that. And she'll have it there. And she'll tell her kids, if so and so pop by, she had the older ones, this is their thing. If so and so pop by, this is their thing. She's very organized
Mhm.
in terms of what she's doing, and let her kids in. This is the other thing about money management. One of the, we tell our kids all kind of things, clean the house, do this, pack up this, get this in order. Sit down and talk to your kids about money.
Mhm.
Sit
Mhm.
down and tell them, mom and dad, income, you can tell your kids, you don't have to hide it, is $100. And this is how we're spending it. And this is why we're spending it this way.
Mhm.
so that they don't think that mom and dad don't want to buy them that dress, that top, and that shoes, and they're sneaking the money away. They don't have it. And
Mhm.
your kids will come up with ideas to you, better believe it or not. And you will be surprised that you and them will form this congregation, this mastermind, this people that live good together and grow from there. It is one of the best things you can do with yourself. Now, most people don't think, if you're not making money yet and you have a handle, you think I'm not making enough to have this discussion. You need to have it now, because if you plan
Mhm.
to be a millionaire, you want to talk to them about money. One of the things why people waste money when they do get it is because they didn't have the schooling of it. So now it all came to them and they're like, my dad left me $10,000. Oh my God, I'm rich. It's not a lot of money, but it's a lot of money because you never handled $10,000.
Mhm. Mhm.
But if it was spoken to you, if you understood a lot of other things that we think we need to hide, the
Mhm.
kids would behave differently. Let
Yes, it
them
would.
in on the money. Tell them when you don't have. Tell
Mhm.
them when you come into some money. They can't take it from you, because if you're training them up right, they want to be part of it. They just want to know. And you will discuss with them. This is a family thing. This is not something you go to school and discuss, because we are doing it as a family. And you tell them the extent of the family, whether it's the immediate family or aunts and uncles are involved. You let them know. If
Mhm.
you are a family who has grown up this way, then you can say, well, my sister Jane and I talk about it, and so her kids also know. And maybe you might be inviting them once a month to come in and talk, but you and your own kids talk about it every month,
Mhm.
because they're going to learn how to manage money. It's amazing. When I started giving my kids, I didn't believe in allowances until I came to Canada. I'm not gonna lie. And I was watching a show, and a lady explained why it's important. Because I was a hider, so I can just say this. I would just get it, not really hiding, but I never discussed it with my sisters. And she said, "You're giving them a chance to understand money." And so Pierce was about six at the time. He just in grade one, and Petra, can't remember Petra's, in her teens. And I sat them down and I said, "You're gonna see how mom pay her bills." So I brought out gas, water, and everything, and I said, "You guys gonna file them, mom? You keep all of that. We keep it for 3 years. Here's where
Mhm.
it's filed. Here's why we clip it. Paid is next to it, because each bill was paid. If it wasn't paid on time, I've got next to it that it wasn't paid on time. So we don't do that next time, because maybe it was a weekend or mom forget and whatever." So I have this discussion with them, and then they'll get in there. Initially, let me just tell you, my kids did not want to do it. They said, "I want to see it. I don't want to know anything about it." They would standoffish about it. And then that happens in January. And then I say to them, I'm going to be giving you money. The air picked up right away. I said, "Here's what we're going to do. You're going to get money, and 10% is going to go to church, so you don't have to come Sunday and ask me for money for Sunday school. This is what's going to be there. And you're going to get 10% to give away to somebody. You could take that 10% and either give it away or invest it or what have you. And then you're going to have the rest of the money for yourself, and you can buy whatever you want." And so when we go
Mhm.
out, my kids would be counting their money, because it add up. Now we're not going every week. I used to go every other week with them, and they'll pick up stuff and they'll say, "Ah, I hear Patrick saying to Pierce, I think that's too expensive. I'm not getting that this week. I think I'm gonna save up for it next month."
Mhm.
And they're like discussing among their little self, and they'll come home and they'll ask me. We'll talk about it. Like, "Mom, I only spent $2." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm not buying that." Or they'll try to get me to buy them something,
Yes.
not spend their dollars. So they were managing their money. And eventually they save enough that I said, "So, okay, we're good." And I took them to the bank, and they opened bank accounts. That's how they started their first bank account. Pure
Mhm.
change. Their piggy bank with birthdays money, Christmas money that people had given them, and the money they had saved. And when they counted it all out, oh my God, those two kids were like, "I can't believe this." They get to the bank. We made an appointment. They were so excited to tell the banker, how they save the money, what they do. And she was such a nice lady. She just sat and listened to them, give them the time. Your children is learning how to handle money at that point. They're learning how to manage money. And some people say, "Well, you're paying them to do chores." No, that was an allowance. They had their specific chores that they had to do, and they can look for extra things and get paid too. So that also bump their monies up. They can file things, because I own my own business. They can clean my office.
Mhm.
They can set up videos those times for when people coming in for training. They could take people coat and shoes, like everything had a little thing attached to it. And
Mhm.
then it was the cleaning company was being started at a time, and they literally come in and do a little bit of cleaning or pack the stuff for the employees, get it
Mhm.
ready, get the rags ready. They can just find ways to make money and then manage that money.
Mhm.
Money management is very simple. It's managing what you bring in. But before you bring it in, it's good to know what your needs are and how you're going to set it up. And we call it a budget. But it's so simple. You don't even have to get into anything big and fancy right away. You just say, this is the money that's going to be coming in. Here's the things that I need. Here's the things that I want. And here's the things I'd like to have. And then you
Mhm.
portion them out. Before you do all of that, though, you set aside 10% for your savings, 10% for giving, and another 10% for investing so that you have 70% to live off of. When you start understanding how to live off of 70% of monies, you are ahead of 80% of the people in the world.
That's true.
You are ahead 80%. And the day you learn to live off of 50%, can I just give you a little hand right now?
There you go.
You have managed well, right? You've managed
Mhm.
well. So
Absolutely. Yeah. You really have.
manage well.
Oh my
And so
goodness.
that's how all of that comes about. That's how it came about. We're setting the pace, we're getting things in order, we're lining it up, and when we applying what we've learned. And if a 6 year old and a 13-year-old can manage the money
Mhm.
and he's getting less than her, and he became such a saver, like he would get a whole salary and just get what he needs,
Mhm.
and that would be it. Like he wants a game, and Pierce will say, I think I'm gonna buy it after I save about 3 times. He wouldn't run and buy the game. He'd go to the store, he investigate the game. Now he just gets it online and he'll see what's the price is and then he'll save towards it. He's not
See,
gonna
and
buy it.
the other thing too is if you don't get it when it first comes out, it gives the opportunity for the price to go down.
That's what he told me.
Mhm. Or to buy it from someone who's getting the next big thing.
Yeah,
They put that online and you
yeah.
get a good deal.
That's what he told me. And he had a bunch of them he was selling too. I was like, Pierce bought people bought them. He goes, yes, mom. That's how I bought my other games.
Exactly. You see what I mean? So it's a good way to show our children how to use what they have in their hand
Yes.
to generate income.
Hmm. The other thing I said to people, I said, if you have an older aunt, a mom, and somebody that you can talk to, and even if you don't have that, but your friends have that, because my kids' friends come talk to me about money all the
Mhm.
time. Because my
Mhm.
kids would say, if you want to know anything, go talk to my mom. If their friends are when their friends were in high school, they come talk to me. When they're getting a job, they're like, Moms, I graduated. This girl, she's like, Mom, I took in everything. I just wanted to know I got my dream job.
Mm.
And when I felt like a proud. I'm not her mom, but I felt like a proud mama, Terry,
Yes,
because she came to me. She says, Mom, I got a job. I start in a week, but I want to let you know I've been taking in all the lessons. I've set up everything. So when I get paid, I know what's happening. I know how much I'm going to give my mom. I know how much I'm going to save. And I
mhm.
have a wedding coming up. And I plan how much paychecks I need to get to the wedding dress, to get the bridesmaid dress. I was like, oh my God. I'm feeling so proud of this young woman, okay?
Mhm.
In her 20s, Terry. She's been taking in, she listens, but she taking so much. She's like, Mom, when I graduate, I'm only gonna have to pay. I think she told me like about half, less than half back in loans because she
Mhm.
says, I've been paying down my loans. I've been
Nice.
I felt so. I said, "Your mom is so proud." She says, "My mom is proud of me, and she's proud of you, mom." Mom, and she like call me mom, and she goes, she's taking all my lessons too, because she didn't have that. So whatever I
Exactly.
tell her, she's taking it, and it's great. It's great to know you're helping other people, and so I was feeling so great about it. So there's people who sometimes you can just talk to them. I can do the way I'm talking about, but they knew it. So the last question was, who are some of the best money managers?
Mhm.
There's so many housewives that sometimes people don't talk about. So I want to talk about them. Really good money managers. They stretch a dollar. They do DIYs. I mean, now on TV
Mhm.
they get to on internet they can show you, but people have been doing this a long time. The internet, it's just the internet, but people have been doing this a long time. They're DIYers. They make a dollar go very far. They plan their kids' school trip. I used to be one of those moms. I get things set up. I would be the volunteer mom that I take the kids to the science center with a teacher, and in my accountability, I will walk with enough money to cover two or three kids because I don't know what can come up. And I tell you, Terry, every time I needed to cover, sometimes
Mhm.
5 to 6 kids because parents are in dire need. They
Mhm.
don't know. It's shameful. They don't want to talk about it. But
Yeah.
it's just is. I mean, the teacher is so good. They're like, Mrs. Singh, here is the kids you're responsible for. And not to shame anybody, but I remember one time this kid came with just a bag of cookies. And I was thinking this is gonna get this kid so sick. But I don't know the home situation. And me and the teachers agree, we're not gonna find out, or we just took the cookies, share it to all the kids so that it looked like he brought cookies for the whole class, and then we bought him lunch and whatever else so that he
Mhm.
felt inclusive and
Yes.
so that he doesn't feel stand out. So you're able to do those things though when you're able to manage your money right.
Mhm.
You're able to have this little overflow that you can help somebody without saying a word, just get in there and help.
Just make it happen.
Just
Yeah.
make it happen. Yeah, just get in there and do it. But I want to give a shout out to some of the best money managers are housewives, stay-at-home moms. There's a lot of single moms who manage their money well.
Mhm. And a lot of it too is the fact that people don't have time. Sometimes when you're at home, working at home, or if you're a full-time caregiver or homemaker, you can budget time to look at things,
Hmm.
time to research things.
Yes,
A lot of reasons why people manage poorly is because they're not paying attention.
truly, truly, they're not paying attention to what's coming in, what's going out. Some people, I remember had a client and I told her not to go to work because the money she would spend on transportation and
Mhm.
to come back and to pay the babysitter for the one son, it made no sense for her to go to work
Outside the home. Mhm.
outside the home.
Yeah.
And 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 when I gave her the list of things that she had to do, right? She came on a pro bono first, before she actually became a client. I met her up somewhere and we just get to talking and she's like, I need you. Um, and she was going through, and this story is so funny because she was going through she'd separated and come back to the home.
Mhm.
And I say to her, are you and your ex on good terms? She goes, he is a good person to our son and he's a good person to me. And I left because I listened to the wrong set of people. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Mhm.
She said, I left, and all the things I accused him of and behave about, it wasn't true, but I found out later. And so she said, when I got into hardship, he said to me, we've got a son, you can come back home. You're not obligated to me for anything, but you can come back home. The room, because this is a 3 bedroom house, I will not invade your space. You've got a room. And he always had his room and nobody comes in front of you. And she says, Caren, his word, because by the time I met her, she was there 6 months and he kept his word.
Mhm.
And when she came to me and I asked her something that I wanted to do, I said, go talk to him. If he's a good person, go talk to him. And he said to her, I will carry you for the next year if you're going to do the work that the coach
Okay.
wants you to do.
Wow. Yep.
And she didn't need
Yep.
to go get a job because the job would have thrown her off. The job was going to
Hey,
take her somewhere.
Carlos, how you doing?
Hi, Carlos. The job was going to take her away from where she wanted to go, the things she wanted to do, and the way she wanted to raise her son. And that was most important for him as a dad. He says, he worked nearly 14 hours a day. He was a construction guy, a construction manager guy. And he said, I have to bring in a sitter when the child comes every other week.
Oh, uh-huh.
And you're his mom. So I would rather you do it and I cover your expense. Just give me the list. And that
Mhm.
was the shameful part for her. I said, and so it took us let me not lie, 3 weeks to sit down because she's in such a shameful place, to get it out of her, to say, listen, put the shame aside, which is what we talked about on last month, how shame can have us not move
Yes.
forward. Put the shame aside and give the man the list of things that is necessary. Not because he doesn't want to give you money, because he wants to allocate where things go. He has to know. He's paying for a whole house on his own. He needs to know. Give the man the list. And she gave the list to him, tell him where things need to go. And lo and behold, he wasn't going to buy them himself. He just wanted the list to figure it out. And he put the money in her hand, sat her down. He said, this is where my budget lies. This is how I can help. This is what will be in your hands every 2 weeks. You don't have to ask me. It'll be on your pillow. It'll be in your account. It'll be wherever you tell me to send the money. And
Mhm.
she stayed there for a year. He did what he said he was going to do, and she got a place now because her business that she started helped her get a place and move out. She had to take away that shame first things first, I tell
And
you.
now the child has two happy parents.
Exactly.
He's going to be a happier child.
Mhm. For sure. When she wanted to go away for a month, he said, I just need time. And he took the time off. He says, if you got to go away, I want my child to get the same level of care when
Mhm.
you're not here. Took 3 weeks off, look after the child. She just had to move things around. She couldn't get a whole month. I said, girl, you get in 3 weeks. Do not complain. And the friends you had, I want you to not find them again or people like them. They're gonna
Mhm.
cost you more than you want. Okay.
Mhm. Wow.
And so she get to understand to trust again. Let me tell you the things that it did for her: make her trust again, make her establish a business that was profitable, trust herself, really realize she can care for her son. And even though she messed up and there was no going back for them together, which was fine, um, even though he wanted to. And I agree with her, because when you feel that way, you just put so much on yourself that it probably would not be a good relationship again, because you were at fault. So she's not good at not blaming herself. I even encouraged her, and she did register and got a therapist, because she needed more than my coaching. She really needed a therapist to deal with a
Mhm.
lot of other emotional things.
Emotional stuff. Yeah,
That I know that it's not my wheelhouse, so I let people go do what they need to do. Okay,
I hear you.
I'm a,
So, Coach, let's wrap this up. What did you
yes.
say? What, when, and who, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So, you want to summarize for us?
Yes. Today we talk about money management 101 and what it is. Managing your money. That's how simple it is. And how it came to be. It came to be because you need to, if you don't manage, you don't have it. I'm just going
Hmm.
to make that statement. If you don't manage your money, you don't have it. It walks out the door, your purse, your brain, anywhere. It just goes. It just, if you ever touch Quicksilver, that's what happens.
Hmm.
If you don't know what Quicksilver is, go online, look it up, and watch what happened with Quicksilver. Okay, disappears. And number three, we talked about the best money managers, and some of the best money managers are, stay-at-home moms, single moms, housewives. They take the time to stretch a dollar, and in doing so, they manage their monies very well.
Hmm.
Don't count them out. That's what I got for
Exactly.
you guys today.
Oh my goodness, Coach, we just love you. And you always make things so plain. We don't like convoluted stuff here
Mm,
at
we don't
BizChicks.
need that.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I like things that are easy to understand, easy to implement. And what I mean by that is, it may be a complex subject like money management,
Mhm.
but you always make us feel, this is doable and it's not as complex as they try to make it seem.
Exactly.
So
It's
I
very
thank
doable.
you for simplifying this for us. I just want to say, guys, if you are looking for Coach Caren, you can find her on your internet machine under Profits in Daily. And we
Internet machine. I like when Terry says this.
Profits in Daily with Coach Caren Fern.
Mm.
You can find her on Instagram, Facebook, and are you? Where else are you? Are you on and TikTok? Right?
Yeah, girl, haven't been there for a year. I took a
Okay.
TikTok break. Was going down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Instagram and
So
yeah,
let's stick with Instagram and Facebook.
Facebook, and soon my YouTube channels. I got a few
Okay,
there, but we're yeah,
very good.
yeah.
I hope you'll air some of the segments that you shared with us over there on your YouTube channel
I will.
when
I
it
will.
comes to content, because you have really blessed us many, many times with your wisdom. So, guys, I also want you to know, if you need to talk to somebody about your money,
Yeah.
come on now. Let's talk to Coach Caren. Here you go. Here's the place to find an appointment.
There you go.
So, and also she has, is your course still up?
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
still up. It's still up.
And she also has this course.
Yes.
And you want to tell us a little bit about the course real quick?
And the course, if you bought it now and when I refresh it, you'll get the refresher too, just so you know, because I'm going to do
Mhm.
some tweaks to it this year. It's just about finding out yourself. It's similar to a vision board. You know,
Mhm.
most people just throw up a vision board and
Mhm.
they walk past it or they hide it away and see it. This is really about being inactive with your vision board, understanding how it works, understanding the stuff you put on it. You don't drop it there. You hear people say, I have a vision board and all this come true. And most time people don't sit down to tell you all the stuff that goes into a vision board. And so this
Mhm.
is what this course does for you. It goes in and showing you how you do it, how you set it up, how you talk to yourself, the things you need to know when you put the things on the board and all that sort of stuff. Because it's really about finding out who you are. I tell you, when you find out who you are, you do things so much smoother. You go slower to go faster because you
Mhm.
understand what you need to learn, what you need to work on, what you need to put aside for now. You know, God gave us 12 months of the year. Use it up well. Every quarter counts with every
Mhm.
tiny bit that you do. And that's what part of this course helps you
Very good. So,
do.
with that, we want you to know, guys, that we're here every Wednesday with Coach Caren. And I really want to recommend that you contact her for this course and also for a complimentary appointment so that you can get started managing your life and your money. With that, we want to say to everybody, thank you so much for tuning in.
We
And
appreciate
remember, hey, we're here to help take the hassle out of your hustle.
that. So, yep.
So if you're looking to become a part of BizChicks, simply text Biz to 33777, and you can also find us at bizchicks.net.
Yes.
That, hey, I want to thank everybody who made it out to First Mondays this week, and we look forward to seeing you next month when we congregate again at our new time, 11:30 at Seasons 52 at the Arden Fair Mall in Sacramento, California, if you're in the Sacramento area. With that, we want to say it's all right to make money in your business.
Yes.
So go to the front of your own line. Great day, and we'll see you soon.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye, everyone.